Hi guys, today I am back here with another cooking video and I hope you are excited to join me. Let's go ahead and make this dinner. It's a lasagna recipe made with fresh sheets of lasagna. So let's get started. To make our fresh lasagna sheets, I'm going to be using 2 cups of flour and 1 teaspoon of salt. I add it together and then I mix it, make sure that it's thoroughly mixed. And then I'm gonna be using this 2 eggs. I make a hole in the middle, then I add my eggs like so, as you can see. So I'll be mixing this until it's well incorporated and the dough will be given time to rest. Then here guys, I noticed that the eggs are gonna be little for our flour. I go ahead and then I add 1 more egg. So in this recipe I used 2 cups of flour and 3 eggs and 1 teaspoon of salt. And as well, you will see I will be adding some water just to get the right consistency, because I don't want my dough to be so stiff and dry. So I'll be adding water just to get the right consistency that I'm looking for. As it starts to stiffen, I go ahead, my hands are clean, I wash them prior. I start adding a little bit of water, then I go ahead and I use my hands. Make sure your hands are clean guys. Wash your hands prior to this, wash them in the middle, wash them throughout. I like working with flour because I believe that flour is one of those versatile ingredients that you can have in your kitchen. You can come up with so many dishes with flour, so I always love working with it. You can be so creative with it. You can come with a lot of things out of it. So if you agree with me, please comment down below in the comment section. Let me know if you agree that flour is the most versatile ingredient as compared to other ingredients or other cups that we may have in the house. With flour you can make dumplings, with flour you can make pizza, you can make lasagna, you can make bread, different kinds of bread. You know, you can always work around it, be creative with it, and it comes in so handy. So here my dough is ready. Is the right consistency that I was looking for. So I'll be wrapping it up and then put it in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. Just for it to set, and so that we can be able to handle it well when we make our lasagna sheets later on. So there it goes in the fridge. Then I go ahead to prepare our meat sauce. So here are the vegetables that I'll be using. I'll be as well using this cheddar cheese. because it's the only cheese that we have in the house, so I'll be using only this cheese for today. So in my meat sauce, it has been boiling for a little while. Now I'm adding the vegetables so that they can continue to cook. Then I allow it to simmer for the vegetables to cook through, for the meat also the minced meat to cook through as well. At this point, our lasagna dough is in the refrigerator, the meat sauce is cooking, and then I go ahead to make the white sauce. So I melt 2 tablespoons of margarine. You can use butter if you have butter. I add 2 tablespoons of flour and mix it, make it into a paste, and continue stirring just to cook through the flour to get rid of the floury taste, and then gradually I add my milk. So you can use 2 cups of milk in this sauce. So I added it gradually, stirring vigorously to break down all the lumps, and also for the flour not to stick on the bottom of the pan. So you have to whisk briskly, whisk hard so that it becomes smooth. And I continue adding the milk so that it doesn't become hard, it becomes into a sauce paste. Our sauce is getting smooth, and it's the right consistency we are looking for. It's not so thick, it's not so thin also, so it's gonna get simmering. And I think I'm gonna add a bit of cheese after the seasoning. So I go ahead, I add black pepper, then I add white pepper, and I think at this point you can use any spice that you want, any flavor that you would like in your sauce, but I like to use black pepper, white pepper, and add a bit of salt. I added my cheese gradually because I just wanted to have that cheesy taste in it, cheesy flavor. I'm not gonna add too much cheese because we are also going to be using cheese in our layering. So at this point I just want to just add it just a little bit. So I added almost a cup of cheese, but I added it separately gradually. Now our sauce is ready. We are gonna let it simmer for maybe 1 minute or so on low heat. Then I go ahead. Now my meat sauce, the vegetables have cooked. Honestly, the meat sauce you can cook however you want, how you like your minced meat. So today I just decided to use this kind of method. I boiled it first with the veggies, then now I'm adding the seasoning. I used crushed chili peppers, I used black pepper, I used maharani, it's an Indian spice. I added the garlic flakes as well. Then I added whole cloves. I just added a few. I like that tanginess, that aroma that it gives to the meat or to the dish. And here I ground some coriander into the meat sauce, and then I also added some Worcestershire sauce. A few drops goes a long way, so I didn't add that much, just a bit to add that flavor. Wow, as you can see, our meat sauce is coming right. It's nice looking. And now it's time for the tomato puree. And with the tomato puree, one advice that I can give is to add a bit of sugar just to get rid of the acidity of the tomatoes. Just let it simmer on low heat while we go ahead to prepare our pasta dough, our lasagna sheets. Here I'm greasing this pan, and then I go ahead to flour the surface that I'll be working on. Here is our dough from the fridge. I cut it into half and then cut it again. Put the other half aside and start with the first layers, with the first sheets. So we are going to be rolling, guys. Make sure your surface is floury enough so that it doesn't stick to your surface. It doesn't also stick to the rolling pin. I'm not so good at rolling, I must admit this, but it gotta be done, so I have to do it. It is what it is. At the end of the day, I managed to come up with some sheets. That's all that mattered. So at this point, I size the sheets. I cut out the sheets. I made them to be rectangles because I'm gonna be fitting them in this square tin, baking tin. Guys, this baking tin has been used and used and used for many years. It has fed kids who are at college right now as I speak, so don't mind it, people. It still does the best job ever. So I'm going to be cutting enough sheets for our lasagna today. Yeah, I think my sheets are enough now. I've used half of the dough that we prepared, and now it's some cleanup, and then we start arranging our lasagna. Everything is ready. Our meat sauce is ready. Our white sauce, cheesy sauce is ready as well. So I start by putting the meat sauce in the bottom of the pan. Just like so, and then I put one layer of sheets, the fresh sheets. I know that you can also boil them before, but I just don't see any difference, so I just decided to put them like that first. But if you prefer to boil them, go ahead and boil them for maybe 2 minutes or so, but not much time, and then use them while they've softened. So mine, I just decided to use them like this, and we'll see how it comes out. So here we put our cheese sauce, and then I do add a little bit of cheese. I sprinkle it around on top of the white sauce, on top of the cheese sauce, and then again with the layer of the meat sauce. I was gonna make another layer, but here right now the pan is full, so I'm just gonna take all the layers, all the sheets that had remained. I'm just gonna see how I can put all of them here on the last layer, so there won't be any other layer that I'm gonna add on top of this. So you're going to see how I do it. lasagna is ready to go into the oven. I preheated the oven at 290 degrees for 30 minutes and it cooked. And now it is ready, guys. So here I just allow it to sit to rest a bit, and I had put aside some little cheese. I sprinkle it on top just to get that freshness, to increase that flavor, that cheesy flavor, and I allow it to set to rest a bit before we can serve it. And now our lasagna is ready. You can go ahead, serve it with any salad and any side. And guys, I hope you got something from this video, you learned something. And if that's the case, please go ahead, like this video and do subscribe to my channel. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video.